Well, great, y'all. This is Josh at Mass Gun Works. Wanted to take a minute and share something that I'm getting ready to do with you on the milling machine. This is called fluting a barrel. Okay, so first we're going to go through some math, and I'll go over there and show you the setup. And I'm not going to do it tonight because my brain hurts, and I'm going to wait till tomorrow or the next day to get this cut. So here's what we got. We have a barrel. Actually, come over here and show you the setup real quick. We'll go through the math. There's the setup. All right, I got a 1/4 inch ball end mill in there, and we're going to come and cut flutes on this barrel. Okay, this is a 24-inch barrel, I think. Yeah, I threaded this in for a muzzle brake. It is 5/8 24, 5/8 10 in diameter, 24 threads per inch. This is a aluminum bushing that I machined to go over this so I can put it in the center without damaging the crown of the barrel. I've got a 3-jaw chuck, and this is one of those fancy rotary tables that you can also stand up. So I had to indicate this in. I took a piece of 1/4 inch rod, bit a hook in it, put it in my quill here, ran all the way over, dial indicator on the back, swept it till it was 0, and then we took a pointer, put it in a quill, and found my bottom dead center. I had it marked with a punch mark over here, and that's clocked at 0 degrees to the top. So the only thing I really have to do over here is get this leveled properly. Getting this indicated, it was interesting because that was straight down there, but I had to get this center pointed straight at it. So I've got everything marked with my DRO, and I came over here to this outer edge, which I know to be 0, and this collar is the same diameter as the outside area here on this barrel. Okay, I did that on purpose. What I did is I got my edge finder spinning, and I just gently bumped this over with a mallet until it moved to indicate that we were on 0. Then I locked down my center. Now I know some of you guys that are machinists, your head's probably exploding, but hey, it worked. This is the first time that I have done this way, done this ever. So, you know, you got some constructive criticism about how to do it better, send me an email. Here's the math. So our barrel diameter, it doesn't matter which end you measure, okay? Center is center is center. So I used the threaded end. So our barrel outside diameter is 826 thousandths, okay? We're going to multiply that by pi, because this diameter in 3.1415 and a bunch of other numbers, you just round up to 3.1416, equal the total circumference of your circle, which is the OD of the barrel. So we multiply that by pi. We got 2 inches, 594 9/10. And we're going to divide that by 12. We're doing 6 flutes. So you're asking, why are you dividing that by 12? Well, it's because there's 6 flutes, but there are also 6 flats. So that's a total of 12 separate features around the circumference of the part. If you look over here, I've got it drawn out in a little diagram. So I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flutes. Then I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats. Okay. So we divide that by 12, and I came up with 216 thousandths and 2/10, and the closest end mill that I had to that was a 1/4 inch, which is 250 thou. So what that means is this cutout here for the flute is going to be 250 thousandths wide, and there's going to be not exactly 250 thousandths here, and the flutes probably will look a little bit larger than a flat, but I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Ideally, what you want is to have your flute and your flat come out to as close to the same width as possible, just for aesthetic purposes. Okay, so I know I need 6 flutes. Like I said, so I got 6 flutes. There's 360 degrees in a circle. Divide that by 6. That gives me 60 degrees. So these flutes on center are 60 degrees apart, going around our circle. Okay, so that means I need to turn my dividing head 60 degrees every time I go to do a cut. Now, the reason I've got this line here, top dead center and bottom dead center, in 30 degrees is because I don't want to have my very first flute pointing straight up. So when I tighten my barrel down, right now I've got the bottom dead center clocked in the 12 o'clock position on my mill. So when I tighten my barrel down, I do not want my my flute pointing straight up and down. Okay, I want it off 30 degrees to center. So what I want to do when I start cutting is, like I said, I've found my center point and I've got it straight up and down. So I'm going to rotate 30 degrees off center, and then I'm going to start my cut, and then I'm going to go 60 degrees for every other cut like that. So that is how that math works out. Now again, I'm still learning. This is what works for me. If some of you guys out there that have a lot more experience with machining and shop math and stuff like this than I do, have any constructive criticism or a better way to do the setup, please, please, please let me know, because this literally took me a couple hours. I had to tear my vise apart. I had to clean it and sweep the vise in so it was square. I had to sweep this thing in so it was square, and somehow by the grace of God I got this to square up fairly easily. So what you're looking at is approximately 4.5 hours of my life that I'm never going to get back. But you know, this is the first time that I've ever done something like this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it turns out when it's done. So the one thing that I'm struggling with right now, this right here is 825, 826. Right here at this black line, this is where the flutes are going to stop. Get Sharpie mark. And that is 926. I need to go at least 100 thousandths deep up here. So because there's 100 thousandths total difference in circumference, that means I'm going to be 50 thousandths deeper back here, because you got to take that total 100 thousandths circumference difference and divide it in half, and that tells you what your difference is on one side of your circle. So I'm thinking that I'm not going to worry too much about getting this barrel completely leveled up, to have the flute be the same depth all the way around. I may change my mind. So there's that. But having it set up like this gives me an opportunity to slip a wood block in here to help dampen vibration, because as I get further away from this here in the chuck, this part is going to pick up some vibration. It's called chatter, and you need to dampen that, because if you don't, it'll just have a crappy finish and you may ruin the tool. So that's all I got for now. Like I said, tomorrow I'm probably going to run it. When I do, I will take some time and set the camera up and show you how to cut some flutes. So I haven't seen any videos on YouTube of how to do this in a manual machine, how to set it up, how to figure it, none of that. It's like some great secret that no one wants to share. So I wanted to take the time and show you guys how to do this because I had to figure it out the long way. I have seen it done a lot with CNC machines, but like I said, not with the manual machine. So I'll probably go ahead and do a video too about my milling machine. I did one about the lathe to cover it, but I really haven't done one about this mill, and it's kind of an interesting mill. So I'll see you around.